hot as hell in here, man. That'll be the dry heat. Jesus, welcome. Tales of the Boot to YouTube.
Looks like
Bootin'.
back on the menu, boys!
At least it was on. It wasn't as warm as this morning. It was raining actually on the way up. I thought it was a bit overcast and gloomy and I didn't think it was going to be on. But we were booting anyway. And yeah, it did alright. Nothing to make. Actually, a few little bits. Telling a lie. There's a few little bits. One thing I'm not too sure of yet. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. But welcome to all the new subs. I've had a bit of a slew. Mentioned in the last video, kind of YouTube had been cold. I didn't really lose too many, and I've recovered them back and then some. So, oh wow, all's well. Seen James today, Mr. Busabi. I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. He's elsewhere, but yeah, overall it was all right. I'd say I wasn't expecting a great deal from it early doors because it was overcast, even raining a little bit, not heavily. But talking about the sun just keeps going out. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Some kind of not, well, no, they're not. That depends how you look at it. They could be technically game related, but they're not games. Oh. So one of the first things I got, probably the best thing, so I'm going to leave that till last. Yes, I'm not going to change that formula. I know some people do it the order they find stuff. Just it's fucking bad. Let's do a bit of non-game related before I completely melt away. It's not going to be very long, he says. Got a couple of annuals. There's a lady there, really nice. I was chatting to her. She had a fat PS2. She wanted £8 for it, which is too much. I just weren't interested. But she had a lot of statues and figurines and stuff like that. I mean, I missed out on them. One of the chaps that I know, he bought, I think she had Spawn and stuff like that. She, you know, they weren't cheap. They're £4 or £5 a piece. If that was your thing, I'm pretty sure they were probably a good buy. But you know, they're nice to look at, but just gather dust, don't they? But anyway, she had a box of annuals. James said to me today, because obviously it was, like I say, it's quite cold, so I had, like, you know, body warm, whatever. And then obviously the sun come out towards the end, and I was like, Jesus, it's too hot now. He goes, I noticed that you all suffer with the heat. He goes, but I'm not that far away from you, and it's bloody freezing, but you seem to have your own climate. Dude, seriously, there's a certain individual, when he makes the video, you can go and ask him how hot it gets in here. And even he was surprised that when we went outside, he was like, it's not even hot out here. I said, I know, that's... But it is hot out there. It's like fucking... Like I told you, that's what I call it, the blast furnace. It is like fucking pit Hades in here. Anyway, I digress. Annuals. Amateur annuals, 50p each. I can't leave them there 50p. I'm pretty sure I can find home for them, even if I take them to one of the markets and stuff. Because they're like I say, they're not gaming related, but it's the whole 80s / 90s vibe. And for me, this is just all the merch around it. It's a 50p each. We got this Masters of the Universe annual, 1998. So you can't beat a bit of He-Man. Unfortunately, it looks like it's come away from the spine a little bit. A little bit. It has come away from the spine. Yeah, I'll scale it all up. What's the other guy called? Fisto. There were some right dodgy names, weren't there? For some of the characters. There's Beastman, look. I have the power. Man at Arms, that's his mate's name, isn't it? Yeah, all the pages are coming loose. That's a shame. I don't know what that little guy's name is. I can't remember. Wizzo or something, isn't it? It'd probably be in here if I wanted to read it. Orko. Is it Orko? I don't know. So there we have that one. This was quite cool. The real Ghostbusters annual. I believe this is from 1990. It's quite good. And quite fitting with the movie that's obviously come back out. And I know that there's a lot of initial apprehension, dislike And I think a lot of people wanted it to fail, but apparently it's meant to be okay. I don't know. I'm not, I do like the Ghostbusters, but I'm not like a Ghostbusters nut. Two quite cool ones. Mask. I don't know what year this is, but I've mentioned Mask before. I mean, that's a quality picture. I've mentioned Mask. 1989 this is. I still think it's got one of the best theme tunes for any cartoon. Yeah. Bruce Sattel, Rhino, Floyd Malloy, Vampire. So that's that Mask. We've got another Mask. 1986 it looks like. See Alex Sector, Buddy Hawks. And then lastly, you can't have an annual from the 80s and the 90s without it being the Titles. So I think this is 1990. Just seeing the sweat dripping off of me everywhere. Yeah, 1990. Oh dear. You all know about the Titles. Yeah, it's that style I always. I've mentioned that before. That's the one I always sort of remember as a Turtles. That sort of stylised version of them. 50p each. So I could leave them there for that. I don't know what that was then. Fucking hell. Oh. So it's meant to be Leeds next week. I don't know when I'll get this video up, but Leeds is looking not very likely. Old Timbo's been in the wars apparently, so he may not be fit enough to drive. So that's like the lift on the kibosh. And to be honest, I'm struggling for money. So even if someone said I'll get the train, it's eating into any funds I may have to spend. Which even with Tim giving me a lift would be very limited. So it'd probably be going more just for the meet-up. So Leeds is probably not going to happen. Say for me, it's probably not the worst thing given the fund situation. But no, them's the Brex, and obviously if Tim ain't fit, and that's the end of it. There's nothing we can do about that. So yeah, get well soon, Tim. I'm sure it'll be fine. God, look at me, man. Just been in the shower as well. You wouldn't believe it. Okay, now right. Non-game related, weren't we? That's where we're at. So this is quite late in the day actually. I'll show you actually. These actually quite late in the day. I'd asked these people if they had any games. They just had like black bags. And it was just, I said, "Is it all just closed?" It was, yeah. Okay, fine. Don't hang about. But I went past it, as you do. Second or third sweep or whatever. Oh. And I noticed this green thing on the table and I thought, I know what that is. And there's a lady in one of the charity shops who's asked me about this particular franchise. I said, oh, because I'm always in and out there buying odds and sods. She said, oh, if you've ever come across any of this, let me know. So I've seen this big green thing. That's what I went back to the table for. And when I got closer, there's actually tons of 80s and 90s merch again. Different odds and sods. And then that's about this thing. And I looked across and seen two of these things. I was like, wow, they weren't cheap. I mean, they weren't the earth. A lot less than what they go for, but still weren't, 50p each or anything like that. £4 ended up being, I think it's already £5 each, but down to £4. So, what I saw first was Kermit. And it's Piggy. So he is a Fisher Price one. 1976, so he's as old as me. This Kermit the Frog is as old as me. That is scary, isn't it? That's the old Fisher Price sign. Look, Kermit the Frog. So he is as old as me. I'm loath to actually hand this over to the lady. I mean, he's quite cool. In pretty good nick, obviously, for given his age. So yeah, that's Kermit. No Miss Piggy though. So that's what lured me. Pulled me over to the table. Fucking hell. She had Roland Rat teddies, two Roland Rat teddies and stuff like that. she'd looked at the prices. She knew what they were. She was there with her mum and dad. And they said, oh, and there's some robots, Japanese robots made in Hong Kong. And they knew the cost of them and this, that and the other, so yeah, they weren't daft. But I think they realised they couldn't be asking them prices at the booter. So the two things that I've got with the same is two Stay Puffed Marshmallow Men. Need a bit of a clean. That one definitely needs a bit of a clean. He's not too bad. But I have got Mr. Marshmallow. And these ones, if I can clean one of these up, they're probably in better condition than the one I've got. Yeah, if that's the one from my shaft, you can see the red's rubbed out on this neckerchief thing. Whereas these ones, it's not as bad. But yeah, they need a bit of a clean. I guess the soapy water do the trick on these. Yeah. Oh, God, can't breathe. Got them purely just to move them on, get some of my money back from the booter, you know. Yeah. I just thought, given that obviously the movie's coming, you know, the new movie yet again, they're quite fitting. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm getting too old for this. I'll do this. Pound this was. It's like a load of kids' toys. And he pulled out a box of games. And another lizard was literally in there. And fair play to James. He weren't messing about. He was digging. He just grabbed a whole load of PlayStation 1 games. I think the only one this guy got was a Croc. Legend of the Gobbos. Got that anyway. But I seen this one and I was looking on my shelf. Yeah, it's the only one I was missed, but I'm not the only one, but I was missing this as the Black Label Tony Hawk's Pro Skate, so I've got it. Platinum look. So now we're going to upgrade. Yeah, baby. So I've got Tony Hawk's 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, and that's obviously spare case pile. That's £1. I think James got about 12 games for a tenner. I mean, they were. He just bought them for the cases, which, you know, which is what I would have done. But I've got enough sort of donor cases at the minute, to be honest. So I wouldn't have. You know, I think I got them for a tenner. I would have bought them for that because I don't need them. That was the only one that I knew straight away. I seen it. I thought, oh, actually, I know I've got that platinum, so I wouldn't mind just upgrading that for £1. So, guy, fucking hell. Towards the end. I don't know if you can hear the roof creak, the heat, man. He was going around buying stuff, obviously then subsequently probably selling his store. Bit of a flipper trader, whatever you want to call it. And I said to James, you need to go back to his store, which he hadn't set up, because he may have some stuff. He had a box of gaming games. Luckily I was sort of first in there. James went, you bastards, and that's empty box. So, Super Smash Bros. 3DS empty box, but it has got, you know, all the gubbins. But like I said before, we pick the empty boxes up. And with that, I've got PGA Tour Golf 2, which is complete. I bought it for the case, and he said, "Oh, I usually charge £3." I was like, "Forget it for a sports game." What? I said, "Look, I'll give you £2 for the pair." And he's like, "Oh, go on then." So, £1 each. Probably worth it for the case. Probably worth it for the case. Because it is a nice condition case. You know, the EA ones tend to be a bit of a bugger, especially the clips holding stuff in. They all snap. So that was that. Not a great deal more, guys. Pick this up. It's probably all it's worth. And it's lucky I did knock her down. Because coming back and checking here, it's all it sells for. Dungeon Siege 3, it does say limited edition, so I'm not sure if the one on CX is limited edition or if they're all just limited edition. Get what I mean? It's Dungeon Siege 3. So she had £2.50 on it, so would you take £2? She said yes, so I was like, fine, I'll do that, not a problem. Dungeon Siege 3, 2 o'clock. £2, about what it's worth, to be honest. I did quite enjoy Dungeon Siege 1 on the PC. I've not played any of the consolised versions, but they're pretty good hack and slash sort of crawlers. Because I was playing Diablo, and I think they're pretty well. They used to be quite similar to that. Right, that's 2 bits. That's 2 bits. This is right near the end. Literally the last sweep. And I couldn't believe A, I didn't see it before, and B, it was still there. I think it's because it was in this bag. Probably not a lot of people would have looked at it, unless you've seen the sticker that you put on it. So basically it's this. So I was like, oh, I'll have a look at that. Thinking £15 probably top whack on the PSP. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's got a charger, it's got a manual. 3 games ain't nothing to shout home about. Mitron Wars, Football Manager, and Warhammer 4 40,000 or 4K Squad Commander. But the PSP is one I hadn't seen before. What is it called? PSP Street. This is an E1003 model. Yeah, E1003, and it's quite streamlined now, and it's like a matte finish to it. Much prefer this. It's not as thin as the Slim and Lights, but the tray door isn't mechanical, it's just a pull down one, which is a hell of a lot better. Yeah, and it just looks a lot more refined. Actually, these are probably cheaper than the Slim and Goes or Slim and Lights or whatever, but it just feels like a lot better polished as a unit with a 4 gig memory card. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, would you do a tenner? Say, it hadn't been snapped up yet. Oh no, I don't think so. So I'll meet you halfway then. 12.50. She said, yeah. So that's great. It does work. It says, oh God. It's all working. I actually don't know if there's anything on it. I don't think there's anything on the. No, there's nothing on it. So yeah, quite nice. So I'm not sure about this. Whether to keep it or, you know, trade it in or sell it, I don't know. It's probably worth more to be sold than it's to be traded. It's one of them weird, one of the more unique items at CEX. You know, in terms of what they give you for trading, actually you're probably better off selling it, because you tend to get a lot more bang for your buck. And given that there's no scratches on it or anything, you know, it should be easy to sell, but you never know, do you? I mean, if it'd been not much in a trading price and a sale price, then I probably would have traded it in, because it's just easier, less hassle. Right. The last item is the first item that I got. Youngish couple, probably, yeah, a little bit, probably early 30s. All setting up and that, and you know, morning. Yeah, so I just yeah, you don't happen to have any old computer games, video games, or you know, words to that effect. Oh, don't think so. And she went, oh, haven't we got that Game Boy? I was like, yeah, interested in that. But one of these people, we're not ready yet. Come back later. And I was like, fucking hell. I said, well, okay. I said, yeah, not a problem. Understand that. I said, you do me a massive favour. If you do find it, stick it in the footwell, and I'll keep popping by and harassing you, kind of thing. And they laughed. They were a little laugh and a giggle. And they were true to the word ish, because I kept popping back. And sure enough, one time I popped back, I was like, oh, and look, finding it, and he was just emptying his bag. He goes, oh yeah, it's just here. So whether or not he just would have whacked it on the table, probably no in my look, they would have. But as soon as you said it was a Game Boy, I thought, well, actually, I'll just keep hovering about. There weren't much to do at that point anyway. So pulls out that, and I'm thinking, oh come on, be just full of games. It was a good buy. He wanted $7.50, and to be honest, I probably would have paid $7.50. But I said, do 7? He said, yeah. I mean, I didn't want to lowball him too much. I didn't want to not buy it. But you've got one of these cheap, like battery charger things. I'll give that to James. He collects that. So it's got a blue camera, and this is what we're about here in this section. So we have a very nice condition red pocket with the cover. Nice clean contacts. Oh yeah, screen's, it's got the odd tiny little nicks on it that you're probably not going to be able to see them. And obviously the mainstay is all the games. So in probably goodness order. Tetris, you can never have enough Tetris. Tetris. Great game. Mario Land. Star Wars. Even better than the first one. Probably, arguably. 6 golden coins. Now I don't ever recall having this. I think I had the second one. I don't think I've ever had the third one. That's Donkey Kong Land 3. And then the pick of the bunch, which I've got this. This was Lady in the Charity Shop gave me this actually, and it's Zelda: Link's Awakening DX. So the colour version. I think it's a colour version, isn't it? All that £7. That's that's why we go to the booter. I always say that, but yeah. Some of these I've got, so they'll go to fund other bits and bobs, bits and bats, as some people say. Who says bits and bats? What's his name? Craig. What's his bloody channel name? Oh God. I'll say SNES-tastic then. Something to do with Nintendo, isn't it? Super Nintendo. Super Quintendo. Quintendo. I'm going. It's time to try and dry out. Take it easy, YouTube. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.